Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of NASCAR Heat 3 Career Mode. Today we go to Chicagoland in both the Xfinity Series and in the Cup Series. And for Xfinity, we had Jimmie Johnson in the car. Obviously we replaced him in the Cup Series as he retired from full-time competition, but we had him in our Xfinity car for this episode here in Chicago as he started in the 8th position, so not a bad qualifying effort from Jimmie Johnson here as we came through turns 1 and turns 2. At this point it was Hemrick leading, but Johnson would work his way through the field to actually get up and battle for the lead position here in Chicago with Daniel Hemrick as you see him coming through down the front straightaway side by side with Hemrick for the lead at this point, as this was towards the later stages of this race. As he went through turns 1 and turns 2, he would clear Daniel Hemrick and drive away from the field as Johnson would come through turns 3 and turns 4 for the final time down the front straightaway. Jimmie Johnson would come through to win here in Chicago, so a great result for Johnson. And now we cut straight to qualifying for the Cup Series because I kind of forgot to show the post-race stuff coming through turns 3 and turns 4. Chicago and the Cup Series, usually a completely different story for myself now as we head down the front straightaway. Coming through, not a great lap at all as we cross the line. P18 with a 29.601, so certainly we have our work cut out for us here at Chicagoland Speedway. So hopefully we can move forwards and get our first ever top 10 at this racetrack here today.
Hello everyone and welcome to Chicagoland Speedway for today's running of the Overton's 400. The Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series is stopping in Joliet much earlier than in years past. Up until the beginning of the 2018 season, this venue hosted the first event of the playoffs, but now it closes out the first half of the regular season. Whenever Chicagoland appears on the schedule, this 1.5-mile D-shaped tri-oval is going to be a formidable challenge. Will we see a close finish, or will someone breeze into victory lane here in the Windy City? Let's send it down to the track as the green flag is in the air.
All right, we're ready to go green here for the Overton's 400 at Chicagoland Speedway. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is on the pole for this race with Kyle Larson joining him on the front row. Kurt Busch had an unimproved body modification during qualifying, so he's starting at the back of the field now as we get ready to take the green flag here in Chicagoland. We've never finished in the top 10 at this track. Usually it goes rough for us here, so now the green flag is out. We are underway here in Chicago, fresh off of a victory at Sonoma. Thrilling last lap that was, battling with our teammate of Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney in the final laps of that race. Now as we go down towards turns 1, obviously we had a run-in with Martin Truex Jr. last episode when he got very sideways. We clipped him in the right rear and pretty much just finished him off now as we exit turn 2 side by side with our other Hendrick Motorsports teammate of William Byron. All 4 Hendrick cars kind of in a little group here together now as we go down through turns 3 and turns 4. All about getting to the bottom here in Chicago because we struggle so much that the bottom lane in the draft is really my only chance to be able to make something happen now as you come through to complete this first lap here at Chicago. Like I said earlier, we've never finished in the top 10 at this track. We've been close, so hopefully we can do that today because obviously this is our last chance before NASCAR Heat 4 to get a top 10 at Chicagoland Speedway. Now as we head down the back straightaway, we would make it 3 wide with our teammates of Byron and Elliott as we went down towards turns 3, looking to the inside of Eric Almirola in the number 10 car now as we come through on the exit of turn 4. Continuing to move forward as we came through halfway through lap 3, we had passed Austin Dillon and Joey Logano, now up into the top 15 into P14, passing Paul Menard as well, looking to the inside of our Hendrick Motorsports teammate of Alex Bowman in that 88 car. So coming through, hitting 16 to go, continuing to move forward now as we're going to make it 3 wide here as we go down into turns 1 with McDowell and Bowman and slide up the track a little bit, but thankfully we keep the car pinned down quite a bit now, and we will continue moving forward as we came to lap 5, approaching lap 6, making it 3 wide now with Daniel Suarez and Keselowski, and we would move ourselves up into the 9th position. So being on the inside and in the draft is certainly a big benefit to myself now as we would come through on the back of McMurray now with 11 to go on the stage, looking to his inside as we went down towards turns 1. We would pass him and take over the 8th spot now as we come out of turn 2. McMurray trying to stick with me, but we do get clear of him as he went down the back straightaway now all over the back of Hamlin as we came through, approaching lap 11, looking to his inside as well as our teammate Chase Elliott has worked his way through the field. He is now in the top 10 as we go down through turns 1 and turns 2 side by side with Denny Hamlin. Elliott now right on my back bumper now as we make a little bit of contact with Denny Hamlin, and sideways we go into our teammate of Elliott, and Hamlin has a hard hit on the outside wall as he goes spinning, and the caution's gonna fly now as me and Hamlin just kind of connected, and then I got shot down, and then obviously Hamlin was the biggest victim to that. The caution would come out. We would once again go back green flag racing here on lap 13 of stage 1 here. Just a handful of laps to go at this point, 6 to be exact now, so I felt bad for what happened there with Hamlin. Just ran into each other now as we come through turns 1, looking to the inside of the 42 of Kyle Larson. Thankfully for us, we don't have any damage, so we can definitely continue on without any worries for the moment. Now as we head down the back straightaway, trying to get to the inside of the 42 of Kyle Larson, and we sure do that now as we go through turn 3. TRUEX leads that outside lane, so we're certainly closing in on the back of TRUEX, and we're going to have to worry about that later on, because if we get around TRUEX, we know exactly how that's going to go. It's not a good time now as we come through, crossing the line to hit 5 to go in this first stage. Kyle Busch leads the way over second place of Kevin Harvick. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., the pole sitter, sitting P3, so obviously he's pretty much going to have to win to get into the playoffs. Already looking like that's not going to happen for him today here in Chicago. Now as we went down the back straightaway into turns 3 in that 7th position, having a pretty solid run here in this first stage, other than that issue with Hamlin. Now as we tried to pass Eric Jones, unfortunately we couldn't make it happen, so we just fell in line behind him, still in P7 as we're coming to the white flag at this point here in this first stage, still in that 7th position as we come through to cross the line, and the stage is going to end early, actually 1 lap early, as the caution comes out here as I cross the line. So we get P7 in this first stage and get 4 points out of it. Kevin Harvick wins the stage as he had passed Kyle Busch. We would pit for 2 cans of fuel and 4 tires, and we would lose 11 positions because we had a bunch of other cars actually stay out. So now we have some back markers at the front of the field as the green flag is out and stage 2 is underway, and those back markers at the front of the field, obviously that's an advantage to myself. So if we can get down to the bottom, we'll have a good chance, but I'm going to jump up to the top, and now there's our rival of Martin Truex Jr. So we get out of the throttle, trying not to hit him, and now get to the inside as we go through turns 1 and turns 2 side by side with the rival of Truex. I was expecting him to try and hit me, but surprisingly enough, he didn't even hit me at all now as we come through down the back straightaway 3 wide with Truex and Brad Keselowski now as we head down towards turns 3. P18 as we go through the center of turns 3 and turn 4, passing Keselowski now as we're going to make it 3 wide with Jones and Larson. Stenhouse up on the top there as well now as we get onto the apron for a moment there as we cross the line to complete the first lap here in this second stage. Up ahead is Kurt Busch leading the way as we go through turns 1 and turns 2, and after Kurt Busch it's just a bunch of back markers, and obviously this allows me to close up right on the back of these fastest cars of Busch and Harvick, and we make it 4 wide with Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. as we went through turns 3, and we would get past those guys, and after that it was just smooth sailing through the rest of these slow cars, and we would, as we look to the inside there of Haley Deegan, moving into a top 10 position, and like I said, it was just smooth sailing. We sliced through. Now as we cut to lap 7, we had made a pass here on, I believe that was Ross Chastain on the inside as we come through turns 1 and on the exit of turn 2. You see how far ahead though Kurt Busch was at this point. He was long gone, not even close to getting to him, but we would get past this car on my inside, as well as Kevin Harvick. He was trying to quickly get through this traffic. It was actually Reed Sorensen there behind me now. So Kevin Harvick, he was getting through this traffic pretty quickly, and as we came down to 9 to go on the second stage, Harvick putting the pressure on me. He had run me down, and you can just see the speed difference. The AI are just so fast at this racetrack, it's really weird. So Harvick just blows right on past me. And next in line would be our rival of Martin Truex Jr. Now as it came to just 4 to go in the stage, Truex has run us down as we go into turns 1 and turns 2, and sure enough, he's going to give me the bumper. Truex is still angry as he's going to spin us out as we come out of turn 2, and airborne we go, but thankfully the car is going to stay on the ground planted as we get a lucky break. Does get hit in the side by Joey Logano, and that ends stage 2 a few laps early. Truex gone to my back bumper. He wasted no time taking me out, and somehow we're still P7, only 1 second of repair, so we pitted, now getting ready to start this third and final stage, and we only dropped 1 position here to P8 now as the green flag is out in the final stage at Chicagoland is now underway. 28 laps remain. Obviously would love the opportunity maybe to get back to Martin Truex Jr., but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Obviously we really aren't even a top 10 car if you think about it, so I was not expecting to maintain up here in the top 10, but we're certainly going to give it our best now as we head down the back straightaway, trying to get on to the inside there behind Hamlin to give myself a best chance possible to get this top 10 finish here in Chicago. Now as we exit turn 4, heading down the front straightaway, behind us it's Jamie McMurray and Paul Menard now as we come through to complete this first lap here in this third and final stage, trying to look to the inside of Hamlin, but he throws a little bit of a block. I don't blame him for what happened earlier with that incident between himself and I as we made contact. Now as he looks to the inside of his Joe Gibbs Racing teammate of Eric Jones. Obviously, Jones in real life might not be at that team next season. We'll see how that goes now as we go down into turns 3 and turns 4, just continuing to run this bottom lane. TRUEX up to the second position. Kurt Busch leads as he did win that last stage to pick up a playoff point. Obviously, he won his way into the playoffs just a few races ago now as we look to the inside of Hamlin, making it 3 wide with him and Eric Jones as we go down into turns 1. Obviously, the draft paying off quite a bit for me right now as we exit turn 2. 3 wide behind us, though, as we went down the back straightaway with McMurray, Hamlin, and Jones now as we would set our sights on Ryan Blaney, looking to the inside of him now a few laps later. On lap 47, though, we push up into the side of Blaney, and sideways we go through the triangle, and we make a huge save now, as somehow we don't crash or get any other cars collected with 20 to go. Hamlin gets past me as well. We drop down to the 11th position, and really after we fell into P11, we were stuck here as we came through now with 54 of 67 laps, about 13 to go once we crossed the line. Just couldn't quite find a way to get past Denny Hamlin, so like I said, I was stuck at this point in P11 as we cut straight to 8 laps to go. Absolutely nothing happened. We had gone nowhere. Still here in P11 with 8 to go as we came through turns 1 and turns 2. Pushing up the track on the exit of the corner as we head down the back straightaway now, trying to stick with Hamlin as he went down towards turn 3, but he was just driving away from me at this point as the car was certainly starting to fall off. Even the draft wasn't really keeping me in it as we came out of turn 2 now a lap later. Now there's smoke up ahead though, and someone's having an issue. It's Brad Keselowski as the caution is going to fly late here in Chicago and set us up for a late race restart now from the 10th position as the green flag is back out. It is just 4 laps to go once we cross the line here in Chicagoland. Martin Truex Jr. leads the way now as we're going to get aggressive, making it 3 wide up the middle. We got 2 wins. We're locked in the playoffs. If we wreck whatever, it doesn't matter as we go through turns 1 and turns 2, getting into the back of Kurt Busch, 3 wide with Harvick on our outside, and now we're going to come out of turn 2 still side by side. We make contact with Kevin Harvick and get him involved, and we're into the wall pretty hard as now we got a bunch of damage on the right side of the car. Somehow we keep it green in Chicago as we go through turns 3. Our day completely ruined. I don't know if I came up or Harvick came down. Either way, we made contact, so we come to straight to 2 to go in this race. Approaching the final lap, this time the car was just destroyed, so it just wasn't handling good at all. We were dropping down the field very quickly. As you see, I just cannot turn on the exit of the corner now, trying to side drive Castle, coming to the white flag, trying to get the best finish possible. Hopefully a top 30 now as we go down through turns 3 and turns 4. Doing everything I can to fight to the end now as we exit turn 4 down the front straightaway here with LaJoy on my inside. We make contact with LaJoy now, and into the wall once again we go as we cross the line to take the white flag, and that damages the car to the point of 17 seconds, and that will DNF us from this race. Now as Truex was leading at this point, but this caution that I brought out, unfortunately for Truex, took away the victory as Alex Bowman would be able to beat him. So a little bit of karma maybe for Martin Truex Jr., but just a mistake on my part at the end there when I just came down into LaJoy. This incident with me and Harvick, we were in the middle of a 3 wide. It was a sketchy situation in NASCAR Heat 3, and 3 wide in the middle, it can get sketchy at times. Unfortunately, it didn't go well there as Truex, obviously, he's not happy, even though he's the one that crashed me earlier in this race. But yeah, that last lap there just made that contact with LaJoy, and unfortunately it just shot me up the track into the wall. The little ping pong, you gotta love it, but it's unfortunate. But as always, if you guys enjoyed this episode, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those would all be very, very appreciated. That was our second DNF of the season. In the next episode, we go to Gateway for the trucks, and I think it's Daytona for the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series, so that could be a fun one there. As you see your playoff grid, Suarez the last car in, so we'll see how that playoff grid shapes out. Now, as I will see you guys in the next episode, thank you for watching, everybody, and have yourselves a great day.